Hello and welcome to N Focus, coming to you this week from the conservatory in Luigi's mansion. I am your host Hilka. Joining me, as always, is our co-host Rosalie. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. I'm now 35. I am very old. I am, you know how as a millennial, I measure my age to like fictional characters. I am older than any of the friends were at the end of Friends, and I'm a year older than Homer Simpson,
Huh.
which is terrifying. So that's cool. That's fun. I'm now the old, you know, like when you're little and you're like, I'm never going to be the old people in media. And I'm like, nope. If I was in an RPG, I would be like, oh God, I think I'm older than Sid Highwind of Final Fantasy VII. He's meant to be like 32. Yeah, which is, you know, well, I don't think he's actually 32. But yes, no, I had a lovely birthday. But I'm in that thing of where I'm just feeling a bit like an old fuddy-duddy. Doesn't help that it's dark outside very quickly and it's making me very sleepy at like 1 in the afternoon, like an old lady. But I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just tired. Haha, I said the thing this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slept very poorly last night for no reason. I genuinely don't know why. I was just awake until like 2 in the morning, which was not fun. I don't recommend it.
No, although my bedtime normally is 2 in the morning.
See, my bedtime is usually like 11 to 11:30, and when I say bedtime, I mean like I am asleep by then.
Oh, wow. That's healthy.
Yeah, I used to not do that, and it made me very sad. And so I deliberately decided, nope, I am going to be very particular about my sleep schedule, and it's done wonders for me.
Yeah, I just have that thing where like at nighttime, I'm like, I need to play this game or do this thing. And if I don't, I feel like my free time is being stolen from me and I get really annoyed. So like if I don't do this thing, I'm like, but then sometimes I just spend until 2 a.m. trying to find a game to play, and then I don't actually end up playing anything. But yeah, no, that's.
I mean, I'm kind of cheating because I take medication that helps me sleep. Like, I don't do the like melatonin stuff. I have like prescription stuff. It's very nice.
The good stuff.
If you want an impression of how good I am at sleeping because of that medication, here's a fun fact for you. I slept through an earthquake a couple of days ago.
Whoa.
Here's another fun fact for you. Not the first time in my life that I've done that.
I didn't know you got earthquakes over there.
Oh, yeah. Admittedly, they're a different type of earthquake than what I'm used to. For context, I used to live in Southeast Asia, so we got them semi-regularly.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of, like, I think it's fracking that happens in this province. And that causes some seismic issues.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And representatives of this province are really trying to get, like, the national government to, like, stop that because our homes were not built with earthquakes in mind, so a lot of people's houses are getting damaged.
Yeah. Yeah, because I studied it in school. There's, like, corporate buildings have like a spring structure thing, so when there's like a shake, they kind of shake with the earthquakes, right? And that kind of helps. Yeah. Or we don't have that. Yeah.
One of my favorite stories from living in Southeast Asia is we'd been living there for like, it was the tail end of us living there, so it was like 12 years in, and I was on spring break with my mother, and we were in Bali, which, for context, was very cheap for us at the time because we were living in Jakarta.
Ooh.
I always preface this because I don't want it to sound like I'm bragging. This was just very normal for me at the time. Like it's the equivalent of me saying like, ah, yes, I I live in Amsterdam and I was on vacation in like I don't know Belgium, you know. But anyway, we were on spring break in Bali, which was not much of a holiday because I spent most of it working on school work because that's the kind of school I went to. Uh, but we were sitting by like a pool in our hotel, and then an earthquake happened, and we were like, we were looking at the buildings above us, just visibly wobbling back and forth.
Ugh.
Yeah, and we'd become super jaded by that point. So we were just like, there's a lady sitting next to us, also from Jakarta. She pulled out her smartphone and was just like, okay, so this is an earthquake. Where's the epicenter? How strong is it? Ah, okay. And then she just put her phone down and kept reading her book.
Oh my god.
Like, this is not something that we here need to concern ourselves with. And there's like Australian tourists all over the hotel just freaking the hell out. Just like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's a natural disaster. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like earthquakes are no big deal. You know, whenever they hit a place that has population, things get damaged, people can get hurt. I have done my fair share of earthquake drills.
Wow.
But in that particular moment, it was very funny to just have the realization of, oh, this is an earthquake where we can see the building shaking and I don't care.
Wow. Yeah, we don't get any of that.
Yeah.
There's an extinct volcano in Edinburgh, but it's extinct, so
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means it's very unlikely.
So that's what's going on in my life. I will say, we were on stream. I was on stream with Scott this past weekend, sort of talking about also just adult things and realizing that, like, you know, I'm still like a silly, goofy guy. I think I've still got some of that childlike energy and whimsy. But I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like I don't get really excited about owning a very good vacuum cleaner, you know?
Oh, I've been experiencing the boring adult thrills for ages. I think the first one was like 10 years ago, and I got a steam mop. And I was like, this is the coolest thing. And recently I got a new fridge, and I'm just like so excited over my new fridge. And I'm like, oh my god, everything's chill and it's compact and it's flush with the walls. And like, yeah, it's very boring. But it's so exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you gotta find the adult things exciting, because otherwise getting older would just be very, very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much excitement you can extract from life. You just have to want it, you know? I realize what I'm about to say sounds kind of depressing, but like for most people, life isn't actually going to be much of an adventure. Like there's going to be struggle and hardship, and basically nothing ever goes exactly according to plan. But there are so many small moments of joy that you can find in life, as simple as like sharing a meal with friends or discovering a new ingredient you immediately want to put in everything you cook. Here's a fun one for you. I've been getting really into mango chutney recently.
Oh, I love mango chutney.
It's sweet, it's a little spicy, but it's got some like nice depth of flavor to it as well. See, this is what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
there's so many small things in life that can bring you joy. They don't have to be these big dramatic things like you see in movies. It's
No.
just, this new hoodie I bought is so comfortable.
That's why I like my little plastic trinkets and anime people.
Yeah.
Because they bring me joy. And I'm like, I'd rather be surrounded by little things that make me smile than to be miserable. Talking of which,
Exactly.
for my birthday, my main present was a replica of the Master Sword.
Ooh.
Not little in plastic, because it's a Bandai Proplica, so it's like to scale, and it has buttons on it, and it plays music, and then it has a mode where it vibrates and it makes like slashy noises. and
Oh, that's cool.
and it comes with like the scabbard and a stand. And now I have nowhere to put it because it's really big, but it's so pretty. And it makes me so happy.
So you are now the second of my friends who owns a sword.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to own a real one, but I don't know what like the rules are here with that. So I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll make do with a plastic one. And also, I need a sword anyway, because when you get married in Scotland, you cut your cake with a sword.
That rules.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, like we don't really have a sword, and I'm like, oh, we could do it with the master sword. So I needed to have this.
In completely unrelated news, I'm looking at wedding venues in Scotland.
But yeah. I love plastic Nintendo things. They bring me joy.
And we'll be talking about some of them over the course of this episode.
Hey.
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
Tentative connection. But before we get into that, I'd like to remind everyone that we have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/GamePodular. If you want to send us a couple of bucks to help support what we do, you don't have to, of course. We always say this. Take care of yourself first, but if you've got some extra cash lying around, you want to send it our way, we'd be very appreciative.
Yes, please.
You could also send us money on our Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi/GamePodular. You can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@GamePodular for the podcasts, and @GamePodular streams highlights for the streams and highlights. We've been playing Luigi's Mansion. More on that later in the episode, and it's been very fun.
Hey.
The way that streaming has sort of developed is, especially when like we're playing a single player game and I'm playing the game and Scott is there and they basically just turn into bonus podcasts. Like we don't like review games on them like we do on Unfocused in this show, but we just sort of talk about like gaming related subjects.
Yeah.
Like in the last one we were talking about the discourse around, I guess, what we're calling nag lines.
What?
The dialogue shouts from the character you're playing as. It's just like, maybe I can use this in the puzzle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think it's a
barks.
weird name for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting discussion. So if that's the kind of thing you like listening to, while I also occasionally comment on the game that's being played, check out the stream VODs. They're very good. And with very few exceptions, they always go out the same day that the stream happens, because I'm good like that. I think that's all the spiel. So let's get into the news. The first one is, there was a direct, technically.
Yes.
They called it a direct. It was 7 minutes long, which, nice change of pace.
Yeah.
For the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Yeah. There was some talking heads. One was Shigeru Miyamoto, and one was some guy from Illumination whose name I didn't write down. The highlights are, they showed off the first trailer for the movie, which included some stuff I recognized from Super Mario Odyssey, like the upside down pyramid.
Yeah.
And Super Mario Sunshine. I don't know why that's the one I'm putting more emphasis on, because Odyssey's the one I like way more. But, I guess it's not one I was expecting to see show up in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And they also announced some more of the cast. Brie Larson is going to be voicing Rosalina.
Yes.
And yeah. Benny Safdie is going to be voicing Bowser Jr., who I will admit I have never heard of, but has a writing credit on The Smashing Machine, the new biopic of an MMA fighter starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh yeah, he co-wrote Uncut Gems, the Adam Sandler movie,
and he also has minor roles in Oppenheimer and the upcoming Christopher Nolan The Odyssey movie.
Oh,
cool, good for him. I do want to say, I think I shared this on Blue Sky as well. As soon as Brie Larson's casting got announced, everyone started sharing around the article of Brie Larson broke up with her boyfriend because he like got mad at her for taking Super Mario Galaxy too seriously, like she was playing
Yep.
it, and he was like, "You're taking this too seriously," and she's just like, "Get out."
Queen.
So perfect casting.
Yeah. I love also like God, like 13 years ago, she had like a tweet conversation where she talked about something and I replied and she had like a full on conversation with me on Twitter, and I just thought that was really cool
Oh,
because
nice.
she was you know, she's quite a big deal. So like the fact she like
Yeah.
talks to fans online like that, thought it was really cool. And also, you know, I love Scott Pilgrim, so I kind of automatically love Brie Larson.
Yeah.
But yeah, and her voice just, it sounds exactly what I would want, like expect her to sound if she was fully voiced in my head. So I am a very happy chap.
Yeah. Excellent casting.
Yeah, I like when it's not a prerequisite, but I like when people who are really into a thing get the roles of the thing that they're into, because like you know, like the marketing leading up to the film is going to be really fun. You know, like Wicked.
Yeah.
Watching all the Wicked press stuff is fun because, you know, it's like their dream roles, and you see you get immersed in their excitement. So I love when this kind of thing happens. Someone did say that Brie Larson getting Rosalina is like the Ariana Grande getting Glinda. It's like the same kind of thing, and people are like, I understand now. And it's like, yes, big deal. It's very fun. I'm excited.
The one I always think about in that way is Matt Mercer getting to voice Ganondorf
Oh yeah.
in, I think, Tears of the Kingdom or like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
I think
One
so.
of those two.
Although it might be a bit inappropriate because Ganondorf's a character of color and Matt Mercer is white. So that kind of made that announcement at the time and go, ooh. You know, so I hope for the thing we're talking about later that they kind of think about that. But yeah, no, I like when that happens. There was a really cute video of Brie Larson in the Universal Park where her recording when she found out, which was like last May, and she was in like a Rosalina outfit, and she was like, "No one can hear me. I'm gonna whisper, I'm Princess Rosalina." Ee." And it'd be really funny if there was like a journalist behind her, like going, what did you say?" But like,
Please send this video to me. I haven't seen it and I really want to.
I will. It's really cute. I'm happy. I'm happy because it's like my favorite princess character. Like, I used to role play as Rosalina on MySpace back in the day, which is cringe, but it just makes me happy knowing that she's in good hands.
Yeah. And like this movie looks, you know, based on the one trailer, it looks pretty good. I should probably get around to watching the first one at some point.
Oh, you still haven't?
No.
Oh no.
Because this one comes out, what was it, April 3rd of next year? April 5th?
Yeah. Oh, it's good because I've got the Blu-ray and I've rewatched it a few times and it holds up on every rewatch. Oh, I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think, I'm hoping...
Yeah.
The Chris Pratt thing still annoys me, but what can you do?
That is the thing that kept me from going to watch it.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's not annoying when you watch it. It's just like before and after. It's like
Why him?
Yeah, and it's in the back of your head, and you can tell because even in the trailer for the new one, it was jarring because Charlie Day as Luigi to me is like perfect casting because like Charlie Day's
he's great.
Yeah, his most famous character is like unhinged, weird janitor man. And I'm just like, that's Luigi.
Yeah.
To me. And he just, like I could see him being live action Luigi, to be honest. Like he's just so perfect for it. But Chris Pratt just doesn't have the kind of charisma or the cool kind of cartoonish like vibes. So he just sounds like him. And it's just like, oh. But it doesn't, when you watch it, it's not annoying, but it, you know,
Yeah. And it's weird to say that about Chris Pratt because he is capable of doing roles like that. You know,
Right.
like I don't want to give him too much credit because of his associations with certain churches, but like Andy, his role in Andy in Parks and
Oh
Recreation, he's
yeah.
really good, genuinely funny and charming character. And
Yeah.
his performance as that is really good.
Yep.
And even like Star-Lord in the first Guardian, and I guess the second one was a little more serious, but
Yeah.
the Guardians of the Galaxy movies as well.
Yep.
Like he's a silly guy.
Yeah. He just, yeah, I think he had, I don't know. I don't know what the direction was, but yeah, it's disappointing.
Although speaking of one little thing, I love Parks and Recreation so much. It's probably my favorite sitcom. One of my favorite little like behind the scenes stories is Chris Pratt got really in shape to play Star-Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when he came back to the show during filming for one of the later seasons looking different, they had to like kayfabe it away. It's just like, man, you really changed over the summer. He's just like, yeah, I stopped drinking beer.
It's so good. I need to do a Parks and Rec rewatch, I think.
It's not on any streaming services here at the moment.
Oh. Well, I think it's
Or
usually
at least not any of the ones I have. It used to be on HBO Max.
I thought you would have
Then it
oh sorry.
and then it moved like to not Peacock, but Sky Showtime, which has some stuff from Peacock on it. But then they only had like the first season, which is like 8 episodes of like a 7-season show.
And it's like the worst season that nobody watches.
Yeah.
Sure it's on something here. Because did you not, I would have thought you would have rewatched the episode where it's set in where he goes to Scotland before you came over here.
Oh, I did a big Parks and Rec rewatch like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When it was still available for streaming.
Because he goes to Glasgow. He's in Glasgow for the start of it. He's in Glasgow Central Station, and he's like, and I'm like, that's amazing. I love that. Anyway, not to derail.
Yeah. So look forward to the Mario Galaxy movie on the beginning of April. Is it 5th? I already forgot again.
April 3rd, 2026.
3rd.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And fingers crossed for the post-credit scene where Luigi's like, I got a letter in the post. I've won a mansion. Please, 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 please. Like, please.
That would be great.
Please. Or, we have an invitation for something called Smash Brothers. What's this? Please.
I mean, Nintendo have said that they intend to release movies like pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know we're sick of like MCU and multiverses, but like a Super Smash Brothers movie would be dope, right?
And
like
it would make so much sense because they already, they're not, it just makes sense. But also there's been like Easter eggs to when the first film came out. There was like a marketing, I think it was a website or something. And there was like a phone, on the site. And if you dialed in a number, it like referenced Luigi's Mansion. It was like Charlie Day leaving a voicemail and he mentions something related to Luigi's Mansion. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that can't be by accident. That's got to be deliberate. Although to be fair, the whole film, the whole course of watching the first movie is going, I get that reference. I get that reference. So I don't know. But
yeah,
they could do multiple things. But yeah, Smash Brothers would be cool. Well, I thought they were going to do that because it's obviously kind of a bit related to what we're talking about in a second. But I thought it was going to be, hey, here's some animated Mario movies. Oh, here's an animated Zelda movie. And then we're going to put them together. And it's like, oh, hey, because we already have the character models. And to me, that made a lot of sense. Because they want to do a Donkey Kong movie as well. But yeah. And yet.
Yeah.
Alas.
I think like a Star Fox movie would be a hard sell. Like it would be cool if done well, but I don't think Star Fox has nearly enough like cultural cachet to be like its own movie. Like they tried with like Ratchet and Clank, and even that like didn't do super well.
No, it was bad. Um,
I
yeah,
never watched it.
it was.
I was part of the problem.
It's like a reboot of the first game, but worse. And then they made a game, and then it's like it was just bad. It took all the charm out of the first game. Also, yeah, I don't think an average 5 to 10-year-old child is going to know who Star Fox even is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll could
Because the last Star Fox game was on the Wii U, right?
Yeah, I mean he's in Smash Brothers Ultimate, but he's not going to have the. A kid could probably tell who Mario is just from his silhouette, but that I don't think. That would not be the case for a Star Fox, any characters in that game, which is sad.
No.
But.
And if they want to do Metroid, I think it should be like a mini series, not a movie.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Because you want to have time for the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so important to Metroid.
Yeah. And there has been a Kirby animated series in the past. So
right back at you.
Yeah. I quite liked it.
And also, are we counting the 3DS exclusive web series that they did for Kirby?
Oh, yeah. The Smash Brothers movie would be so fun, but I'd rather they do a Switch 2 edition of the game with all the DLC in it first, because that would be nice.
And it should be a free upgrade for everyone who already owns it and all the fighter packs like I do.
Yes, although I doubt that very much, but yes.
More on the Legend of Zelda movie in just a second, but first we want to talk about some other important release date stuff, and that is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds finally has a Switch 2 release date, which is September 4th, 2025. The game is already out on most other platforms, including Switch 1, but the Switch 2 edition was having some issues. I don't entirely know what those are, so it was still undetermined until very recently. So Sonic fans rejoice. I know we have one of them on the show, so
I know. I have a copy being sent to me as a birthday present, a belated birthday present. So I'm very excited to play it because Hatsune Miku's also in it, and Ichiban from Yakuza series is in it, and Joker from Persona 5. It's all my favorite things in one. So I might talk about it on it when it because now it's on the Switch, coming on the Switch 2. I have an excuse, but I've not played it yet. Oh no, I did. I played the tech demo. That's a lie, and it was fun. I lied. But yes, no, I'm quite hyped to play the real thing, but not on the Switch 2. It'll be the PS5s because reasons.
We also got a tease from Nintendo and Lego, teasing another Legend of Zelda set.
Yeah.
It heavily implied the presence of either Ganon or Ganondorf. My money, and I've seen other people speculate about this as well, is that it's going to be the Ganondorf fight from Ocarina of Time, where you use the light arrows. From, the tower.
So, yeah, but it looked like it would be, technically, would it not be Ganon because it's the end of the fight? Because you had the Ring of Fire on top of the castle, and that's the last stage of the fight. So that would be Ganon. Because Ganondorf's the start of the fight, not the end of the fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Ganondorf, the start of the fight, not the end of the fight. Just because I think, the end of the fight with Ganon is just visually less interesting.
Oh, but I have to disagree because the video was set outside in the Ring of Fire, and that's at the end, not the start.
Maybe Ganon, it's both.
Yeah, it might transform, because the first set is 2 in 1. But the footage was 100% the bit where your sword gets chucked and you're outside, and he's Ganon at that point. But yeah, they could do the transformy thing, which would be cool. It's going to be expensive either way. Just preparing everybody to.
I mean, it's Lego.
Yeah. But it looks cool. I might get this one. I might if it's a 2-in-1 thing again, but it's purely Ocarina of Time. Because the other 2-in-1 set is like Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time. But if this is
Yeah.
purely Ocarina, I might actually get this one. Because that's like my era. My childhood. I'm not the biggest Breath of the Wild fan, so I would much prefer just an Ocarina set. And it looks like you get a adult Princess Zelda minifig. And she's like my favorite version of Zelda because she's so cute. So it's going to be exciting with the full reveal, definitely.
Also, more on forms of Princess Zelda in a bit. Because updates on the Legend of Zelda live action movie.
Yeah.
Some enterprising Instagram users, Josh.and.pine and Tony Olsen Films, posted videos from what seemed to be like poking through the bushes looking at the set as the actors were in costume doing things on set and maybe even filming the movie by the looks of it, when they were doing it in New Zealand. And, you know, these kinds of like leaks and Instagram, like, ooh, look at what we're doing. There's a decent chance that it could be just people making it up for internet brownie points. But I will say, since we wrote notes on this story, they released the first official on-set photo. Well, not necessarily on-set photos, but photos of the actors. That being Bo Bragason as Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link in full costume.
Yeah.
So those leak videos do seem to have a lot more legitimacy because the costumes in the videos and the photos do seem to match.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the Link outfit is like a fairly traditional Link outfit. I would compare it to like sort of halfway between adult Link in Ocarina and like Twilight Princess.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Zelda was like the blue tunic from Breath of the Wild, which is a weird choice.
Yeah.
You said that your favorite like look visual iteration of Zelda is adult Zelda from Ocarina, correct?
Yeah, but I can understand if they wouldn't want to go with that in this kind of modern era to get away from the like, you know, the woman is always the princess and needs rescuing kind of thing. So I but it does give me the fear that they're gonna base it off of Breath of the Wild, which I don't want.
Because purely visually, I think if we're gonna go for like not one of the cartoon Zeldas, because if we're going for like the like toon Zeldas, I think either Minish Cap or like Phantom Hourglass is like my favorite. But if we're going for some of the more realistic-ish ones, I really like Twilight Princess Zelda, actually.
I was never a huge fan of her design, but at the time it was all over lots of bootleg merch and stuff, and it was like, you know, I just associate it's kind of like the key art from Advent Children, the Final Fantasy VII film, where I just associate. This is gonna sound so not gatekeepery, but like there's some people I met around that time that would be like, I'm the biggest fan of Final Fantasy. And the only thing they'd experienced was Advent Children, and then vice versa. I'd be like, I know everything about Zelda. And they just had like a Twilight Princess t-shirt on, and I'm like, that was their only frame of reference. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to speak to you. So like I associate...
Name 5 Zelda albums.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But at the same time, it was like a very like thing where I got excited because I thought I was talking to somebody, and then they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I get sad. So I don't know why. I also don't like Zelda as a brunette, even though I am a brunette. I don't know if that's an internalized thing. It's weird. But I always just I think I like the more when it looks more anime. I think that's probably what it is. I
also really like Zelda in Hyrule Warriors. I think that outfit's really cool.
Oh, I do like that, actually. Yeah. I do like that. I like obviously really like Wind Waker Zelda as well. Well, Tetra. I mean, I don't not like the other ones. It's just like my fate. Like when I see her in my head, it's usually the Ocarina of Time adult outfit. But I can understand why that wouldn't translate well in like a fantasy thing now, because it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's a bit
because
too
based
cartoony.
on purely like the 3 photos they've shown so far, it looks like Zelda, like she's carrying like a bow and arrows, right? Like
Yeah. They want to make her
that
more.
reads to me like she's going to be taking more of an active role in the narrative
Yeah.
than just being the damsel in distress.
Yeah, so that makes it'd be cool if like she gets into the royal garb of any kind. I like her blue dress in Breath of the Wild. Be cool to see that at some point. But yeah, no. It make in that regard 100 makes so much more sense. What I was intrigued with was from the videos was what is probably Impa, and she looks really cool. They haven't officially revealed it, but if I see someone with white hair who's like talking to Zelda, I'm like, well, that's like I wonder who that could be. And it looks like it is. I'm going to butcher this name. Deechin Lachman from Severance. And she is an absolutely phenomenal actress. Like incredible. I am a huge Severance fan, so like I'm a bit biased there, but she is amazing. So the fact that it very, very much looked like her, the fact she's in it is quite exciting. And also kind of, I'm not saying the guy that's playing Link, I watched him in Bly Manor. He's not a bad actor by any means, but it does kind of elevate the kind of, the talent that we're working with here a little bit. So
yeah, because like I looked up their like IMDb pages, and they've had some roles. Like you said, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth was in The Haunting of Bly Manor, and Bo Bragason has been in some like British shows that I've like vaguely heard of. And in a way, like I kind of appreciate that they're not like doing the like DreamWorks thing, of like, and this character is voiced by Steve Carell, who's really popular right now, like I like that. I'm hoping at least that they picked these actors because they thought they were very suited for the role, not just because they were famous.
Yes.
Because to be honest, they're not especially famous.
No. I think especially for big characters that are like that, unknowns are really like that's the best choice. And also you're giving people who aren't famous a chance to then start their careers, really. So that's kind of I like that. But that also works when you have people around them who are very good, and Severance lady is absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm really intrigued about who the rest of the cast could be, because like who they, like we mentioned earlier, like who they get as Ganondorf is gonna like be a big deal, because you don't want him to be too cartoonish. Yeah. You want him to be quite menacing and scary. It has to be someone really tall. But also depends on which Ganondorf that it then is taken from. So yeah, I'm like the images, someone said it reminded them of a show that would be on Amazon. I think they were making a reference to the Lord of the Rings TV show. I'm like, oh yeah.
Or Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, fair dues. But like, if it's not going to be animated, then I want it. High fantasy kind of is, I guess, how you'd want it to be. I still, again, would prefer if it was animated. Like, Ghibli should have done it. That would have been so good. But I'm cautiously optimistic.
The one thing I will say, based on these pictures, is, and just the way it's been talked about, especially because Nintendo is directly involved, is I am so glad that it doesn't seem to be like embarrassed to be an adaptation of The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Because I really liked Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah.
But I also watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie from the 90s with Jeremy Irons as the villain.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that, Jeremy Irons is very funny in that, unintentionally, or maybe intentionally by him. But like, that movie is so embarrassed to be a Dungeons and Dragons movie. And
Yeah.
at least with this Zelda movie, they do seem to be taking it seriously. Like, in some of the articles that had the pictures, I read like some of something about the approach they're taking, and they want it to be like, whimsical in a way, because Zelda is whimsical in a way, but they are actually taking it seriously as a proper Zelda adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
And that does, like you said, make me cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather be excited about it than be a sad sack about it. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it in the cinema regardless if it's bad.
Yeah, probably same.
Yeah, but I've probably got more stakes to like this than the Mario movie because I was more of a
Yeah.
like as a kid I was more into Mario, and then in like pre-teen era I was like, nah, Zelda's the best thing in the world. So, but no, I think I was like, it'd be cool if like Del Toro did it though. Because like the costumes do make me worried that some of the like the whimsy won't be in there, but I guess we haven't seen any props, we haven't seen any like moblins or anything, or so I guess we just have to wait and see.
Yep. Some hardware news now. The 21.0.0 firmware update for the Switch 2 came out recently and seems to be causing issues for third-party Switch 2 docks. There are Reddit threads of people reporting that their Switch 2 no longer go into docked mode when they're connected to the third-party docks. Of course, a lot of people buy these docks because they want to move their device between like screens without having to move the entire dock, because that's a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And these third-party ones are generally a lot cheaper than the €109 official one.
Yeah, you can get it could be a lot more compact as well. You can get like ones that are also like chargers. So if you're like traveling there and want to have your Switch in a hotel room, they're like way easier to take with you.
Yeah. And so this update seems to be interfering with a lot of them, and that sucks. And that's very unfortunate. So be careful, I suppose. I will say the one thing that Nintendo has made clear sort of in response to this is the Switch 2 dock, like, A, requires a lot more power than the Switch 1 one, and B, supplies, like, extra processing power to the console. And so it's very different to something like a Steam Deck dock.
Yeah.
And so they probably have, like, very specific either hardware architecture or firmware or both that the third-party ones, of course, aren't privy to because they don't have access to Nintendo's original design specs. Or blueprints is the better word.
Yeah. And not only like this is an issue that's been happening since the launch of the Switch 2 as well.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a theory that Nintendo deliberately got some like firmware in there so that this is how it is, so people cannot use third-party docks and have to rely on the official one because the official one's very expensive if you need to replace it. Because for the original Switch, like there's a ton of third-party docks, and someone, like I said, there's a really cool one. Is it the Genki 2? But it's like literally the size of your AC adapter for the Switch 2. But not only is it like can it charge your Switch, but it's also can dock it like on the go, and that is like really cool. And there's so many cool like docks like that for the original Switch, and they work fine, and they still work fine. And then for the Switch 2, like in my work, we've been like trying to find ones specifically that are working, and they are very few and in between. And it seems like that could have been a deliberate thing. And there was also even I don't know if this has been rectified, but there were reports where people did use third-party docks, and then they got their consoles were bricked because the Switch identified as you doing something dodgy, which Nintendo does actually have the right, depressingly, to do. But at the same time, it's like, that's very anti-consumer and rubbish, because like you said, like, people buy third-party docks because they can be a lot cheaper. And also, like, you know, sometimes you want to have your main Switch 2 set up in one room, and you still want to maybe you have a TV in your bedroom. You don't want to have to buy another official dock because they're very expensive. So yeah, I don't, it's all just chit chat. I don't know. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, as we say. But
yeah,
it does make me go, like, give me the, I have the side eye where I'm like, because, you know, they could turn around and release like a cheaper, more portable dock. That would be cool. I'd be all for that. But yeah, I hope it rectifies soon, because I think people should have access to third-party accessories that work, so they have more choice and more freedom to keep their budgets low. Because the Switch 2, it's expensive.
Yep.
So if we can get good accessories that are unofficial, but they work really good and they're more affordable, that's what we like to see. So I hope it rectifies soon. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. I don't want to, like, I do 100% agree with you that, like, this is all hearsay, I guess is a decent word for it. Like, obviously, the Switch, the unofficial docks not working after this firmware update is, like, a thing that people have noticed.
Yeah.
You know, it is, I guess we'd call it anecdotal evidence, but it is, you know, there's something there.
Yeah.
But anything, like, we can only really guess to Nintendo's intentions. And in general, like, I'm sort of in two minds about it, right? Because Nintendo as a company does have a storied history of anti-consumer practices, especially in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Like stopping the Gold Point program, stopping the game vouchers program, that kind of thing. But also, for me, in a lot of these things, like, I just find it a lot more sensible to assume, like, not necessarily incompetence, but just it was an accident than active malice. Because that is generally what it is more often than not. And that's why I bring up the, like, Nintendo have made it clear that the official Switch 2 dock has, like, pretty specific architecture to, like, support the Switch 2's thing, to support the Switch 2 being able to be docked at, like, 4K and up to 120 FPS, depending on the game. And so, like, it is entirely possible that a lot of third-party docks have or don't have something that the official one does, and that's what's causing the issue, you know? That seems more likely to me, at least, but I can't really afford to discount Nintendo's history of anti-consumer practices.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hope, because, like, because a lot of brands weren't given dev kits before the Switch 2, a lot of headsets and controllers didn't work initially because they didn't have, you know, they didn't know how to develop the firmware that would allow the compatibility with the device they don't have hands-on experience with. And for the most part, most companies have, you know, they've had the time, they had their updates. So, like, you know, if your headset wasn't working when the Switch 2 came out, give it a go, update it and give it a go now, because it probably will be fine. So I'm hoping it's a case of that. But because it's been an issue since, I don't know, and instead of being cautiously optimistic for the Zelda movie, in this case, I'm the opposite, I guess. I'm like, But I hope it's not the case, because I also don't understand why the Switch 2, the docks on their own are always so expensive. Because I remember them being like, was it £60 or like for the replacement for the first one, which to me is like extortionate. I don't know. If there was a cheaper alternative, or if a replacement dock wasn't so expensive, I'd maybe be a bit more like, for it. But I hope it rectifies soon and people's docks are all fine. I hope.
Yeah, for sure. Though, also, speaking of hardware updates, this firmware also brought, like, an update to, like, controller firmware, which you do have to do manually. So don't forget to update your Joy-Cons and Pro controllers. PSA, I guess. All right. Now we're coming to the part of the show where we talk about what we've been playing, and it's a Hilka double feature today. The first game I have been playing is Luigi's Mansion.
Yay.
We talked about it on, I think, the last episode, because that was like right before Halloween, before it came out. And we streamed it for Halloween, and we streamed it again last weekend. It was great fun. It's a really fun game. If you're interested in like my ongoing thoughts, I guess you can watch the stream VODs, but I've sort of collected them into more of a review style thing for the podcast. I haven't finished it yet, I do want to say, but I do want to talk about the game because it does some things that I think are very interesting. The first of which is the sort of core part of Luigi's Mansion is sucking up ghosts into your vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And I really like that, especially when it comes to like the major ghosts, the portrait ghosts. They're both a fight and a puzzle at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously Luigi's Mansion is a very different gameplay style. You don't have the jumping on Koopas and Goombas and stuff from the platformers. And so you have to first, for a lot of them, figure out a way to start the fight.
Yeah.
And that can be anything from, oh, this ghost is playing piano, so I need to activate all the other instruments that are in the room. Or this one is lifting weights, so I need to bother him by smacking one of the punching bags into him. And then he'll start doing the thing and floating around, and that's when you can like expose his heart with a flashlight and start attacking him.
Yeah.
And you see, like, that's a fairly common thing in games, I guess. But I like that the very different gameplay style basically forced them to do something like this, right? Like, you don't want this same problem to be solved you don't want every problem to be solved in the exact same way.
Yeah.
It also, like, is very cool playing it because it does have a couple of things that are like, oh yes, this is kind of baby's first horror game.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like their version of the Resident Evil door close up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's Luigi's little gloved hand. It's so cute.
And it does have the very traditional structure of like, go here, fight the thing, get the key,
Yeah.
go to the next room, there's more thing in there, get another key, repeat until the end of the game.
Which is kind of cool
But-
when you consider like that it was like a launch title and then the GameCube
Yeah.
had like Resident Evil 1 remake, which is probably arguably still like the best Resident Evil game. So it's like kids were like, oh,
It
if
also
you
had
finish
Resident
this-
Evil 4.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, if you finish your Luigi's Mansion, you get your Resident Evil for dessert.
And speaking of Luigi's Mansion as a launch title, like, I don't have like a great impression of what the GameCube was capable of because I never owned one and I only ever got to play on one like a couple of times, you know? But I think there are a couple things where like the fabric physics
Yeah.
are like shockingly impressive for the technology that was available at the time, I
Yeah.
think. Like, the animations are all very smooth. Like, I love that Luigi's nose like jiggles a little bit when he walks, you know? And it's all these little touches that I think are supposed to show off like, ooh, look at what this console can do as a launch title. And even going back to it now, like a lot of that stuff, because of the stylization of it, it still looks like really good, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is just in my head, but at the time it was kind of like talked about or understood that the GameCube was quite miles ahead of like PS2 era, like, and was in terms of like its power, but obviously
I think the
just
Xbox had it beat, but I think it did have. I think it was stronger than the PS2, if memory
yeah.
serves.
But yeah, like I mean, one of my you know when you play, you remember games for like I think we've talked about it before, but like Final Fantasy 13, I'm not a fan of, but I do have a fond memory of it because when that came out, it was when the era of like HD TVs was like a new thing. And they
Yeah.
were getting more affordable. So we got our first flat screen TV, and I remember watching the intro and crying because I was like, "Oh my god, technology is so cool!" Um,
Video games can never look better than this.
yeah, and so for the GameCube era, I have like a memory of playing Star Fox Adventures, and when you get to like after the kind of tutorial bit, you're walking around and the water looks incredible. And
Mm.
still to this day, it's some of my favorite game water. Well, I guess like Sunshine as well is more less realistic because it's meant to be more kind of cartoony. But like the water, I just really liked the water in Star Fox Adventures. So I do like when I think of the GameCube, I do think of like its graphical power for sure. And I love like yeah
Mm.
the way the curtains like flutter when you like blow on them with the vacuum. Luigi's Mansion is always really subtle but really cool.
Yeah. And going back to the horror thing again, I think I remarked upon this on stream, but I still think about it as like, do you think people who worked at Remedy played Luigi's Mansion and were like, hey, that flashlight thing's not bad?
Oh yeah. Oh, of course, maybe. I can see them being into Luigi's Mansion. To be fair, it's kind of like it's like even though it's a Mario thing and all Mario games are like really well, most of them are really famous. It is kind of got that kind of cult following a little bit. Uh, so I
Like for the context of the Mario
yes,
franchise,
yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah,
yeah. Because I
because it
mean,
is notably like not actually Mario. You know?
yeah, because I mean, a lot of people see it as like a tech demo, but like I know a few people who that's their favorite game ever, and the rest of their favorite games were pretty cool. So I'm like, it's that kind of
Mm.
yeah. Just did you enjoy the button that only just makes Luigi say Mario?
Well, that's not like entirely true because it's the button. He does that if it doesn't do anything else because it's just the interact button, right?
Yeah, but yeah. But like if you're standing in the
It's the
middle of
same
a
button you
room,
use to open doors.
yeah. But as kids, we just called it the Mario button.
Yeah. It is very fun. I do like that as it's just like a little bit of flavor in there, you know?
Yeah, and it's just so cute. Oh, I love.
I I do agree that I like the amount of personality and the theming you get for the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little like journal entries you can find about some of them that also give you hints on how to like fight them or just provoke them at all.
Yeah.
And there's just little snippets of lore. That's also like gameplay relevant, which is the best kind of lore.
Yeah, they kind of because they get rid of that for the other ones, and that always made me really sad. Because you know, like the ghosts that you catch that are just kind of different colors throughout
Yeah.
between. Yeah, they end up kind of just looking like that for the most part.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
that's
yeah,
sad.
yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. They're still good. I think there are some unique ones for bosses, but not really. But yeah, just kind of. It's why I always look fondly on one because I like whenever I've said this so many times. I like whenever a Mario game adds lore or adds that kind of world building because they kind of like to not do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's really annoying because whenever they do, the games are better for it. But
Mm.
at least Polterpup is throughout them, so I kind of rely on that because I love Polterpup. He's the best. I don't know if you've met him yet.
No.
Oh, he's cute. I think he's in the first one. I think. Oh my god, I can't remember. But like, oh, you've done the music bit though, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like my favorite bit as a kid, and you have to like guess the song.
Which I got wrong on the first try, for the record. I am playing it on NSO, because again, I do not own a GameCube. And thank you, NSO, for allowing us to remap controls. Because, like, Y and X axes are challenging in this game if you're not used to things being inverted.
Yeah, I've honestly noticed with all the NSO libraries, maybe apart from like the NES one, that they don't feel good unless you're using something that resembles the controller that they were developed for. Which is very annoying because I started a new playthrough in Ocarina of Time and it feels absolutely horrible on like everything. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to buy the N64 NSO controller just to play this game.
I'll have to try and see what that's like for me, because the only ways I've ever played Ocarina of Time are on an emulator and on 3DS.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've never played the
Yeah.
N64 version.
It's not running well, I can tell you that, and it makes me very sad because I started to play through them. I don't know what it is. Every time I have a birthday, I always need to like play a game from my childhood because I don't know. I'm feeling, you feel a bit weird when you get older. So I'm like, I need something comforting, and it does not run great. There's like lag and stuff as well. It's very weird. It's like, why am I paying all this extra money and it's not running well? I think N64 emulations got issues regardless, but you'd think of all people that would get it right, it would be the company that made it. But no, I think actually I'm gonna get the. Apparently, people said the NSO N64 controller is bad, and then I heard that made up. It's actually totally fine, and I've really liked having the wireless GameCube one, because it feels very authentic, minus that I don't have an annoying cable in the way. So it'd be nice. I guess they're nice to collect and have regardless. But yeah, I can imagine it does. I mean, the game takes a while because it's like when you suck up the ghost, you're having to like do it. You're holding it away from it.
Yeah,
and that can
that took a bit of getting used to.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, it's always tricky. But I kind of once you get into it, I kind of like it. But it's jarring at first, 100%, and I can imagine it being jarring on the Joy-Cons, 100%.
Oh, I'm using Pro Controller.
Oh.
Which I do want to shout out. This was a great idea from Scott while I was playing, because I was experiencing some frustration with the flashlight. And so I remapped the flashlight button to one of the back paddles on the Pro Controller. So I had my thumb free for other things.
That's clever. I like that.
Yeah, it's great. Highly if you're planning on playing this game on NSO, you should do that. It's
back pedals are like when you don't have them, you miss them.
Yeah,
they're so good.
It's like two monitors.
Yep.
You think you're fine without them until you get them, and then you're like, I don't know if I can ever go back.
Yep.
I've said this a bunch of times, but like, I kind of want a third monitor.
Whoa.
I just don't have space on this desk for it. I'd have to like be like, it would maybe like set it up like behind this one and then like leaning over it or something. But then it could get in the way of my webcam. I haven't exactly thought this through yet, but it would come in really useful for running like D&D.
Oh yeah, of course.
My one like major criticism on a just gameplay perspective on Luigi's Mansion is I wish there was some sort of crosshair because I have often had the time where it's like the flashlight works as somewhat of a crosshair, but there are times where you turn the flashlight off because you're using the vacuum. And I have very often, well, not very often, but often enough to notice it, had the like, I thought for sure I was going to actually suck in this ghost, but I was like vacuuming next to it. And I didn't realize it until it disappeared again, and now I have to start over.
Oh, yeah.
And it is also something that you just kind of have to get used to. And playing it once a week, also with holding a conversation with someone else and trying to pay attention to Twitch chat, maybe not like the most optimal circumstances for playing a new game. I'll be the first to admit.
Yeah. I was talking about this to my partner recently where I was like, I used to get really frustrated when watching, like, say, Game Grumps play something because they'd be doing it wrong. And then when I actually did, like, stream, I'm like, oh, no, I understand now. It's, like, really hard to have a interesting conversation and play a game at the same time. It's just, it's a skill in itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is
I get it.
certainly a choice of ours to play a lot of puzzle games on stream.
Need to play some Smash Brothers in there just to. Oh man, if they put Melee, whatever, if they ever put that in the GameCube library, like my free time is just going to disappear because it's so good.
The one thing I will say about that is like playing NSO games online is kind of a nightmare. Just because like the way the emulation works, like the connection is just very bad.
Oh yeah, I never played I would just be playing it locally anyway, so I don't think I've tried playing NSO online with anything that I can think of.
Yeah, we were going to do it on stream, Scott and I, and then we tested, like, we were going to do Mario Strikers Charged.
Oh yeah.
From the GameCube, and oh my god, the connection was so bad it affected the audio.
Oh no.
Like, it was skipping, and there was like input delay of like literal actual multiple seconds. Now, granted, we were trying to connect from the Netherlands to Australia, so that probably had something to do with it. But
yeah.
Anecdotally, from Scott's own experience, he like had similar issues with like other people also in Australia, like in the same province.
Oh.
Granted, Australia is still very big. We shouldn't discount that. But yeah. But I'm having a great time with Luigi's Mansion. As I predicted I would, honestly. I think the last time we talked about it was before it came out, and it is one of those games that just kind of has a reputation of, it's not like the most well-known in the Mario franchise, but the people who love it are like super dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of game that I like. That's really my jam, you know? I was playing Monster Hunter before it came to PlayStation 4.
Before it got cool. No, I'm always, again, I've said this a million times because, you know, I'm getting old, so I repeat myself more. I like when games can still have that kind of reaction, like years later. It makes me happy. Cause,
and especially for people who've never played them before, that it's not just like nostalgia goggles.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think I overuse the word nostalgia, so the people, like, take Ocarina of Time, right? I still think it's a fantastic game. Do I'm gonna have the nostalgia bias in there? Of course, because I played it as a kid, so I can't get rid of that. But I don't think, I hate the word overrated, and I don't think things are good. Things are good. If a game is enjoyable, a game is enjoyable. I think obviously, you know, what we expect from a game changes because some things need quality of life features, and having save states makes things a lot better. And, you know, you can look at things from things can age badly, but in like terms of like the core gameplay of something, I think that a good game like that will stand the test of time. So the fact that when I do think that with games like Luigi's Mansion, and that does turn out to be the case, I'm like, good. I'm glad it can still make people. It's again it's not the greatest, absolutely, it's not 100% our amazing greatest experience in the world, but it's really really fun, and I'm glad it can still.
It is really fun.
Yeah, I'm glad it can still be fun in this day and age for people that like yourself that haven't played it before. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Me too, because that is the one thing I always worry about when streaming is like, what if I just don't like this game?
Oh yeah. Like there's a certain very famous recent game that I stopped playing because I wasn't enjoying it, and I dared to say I wasn't enjoying it, and the reactions are like, blah, blah, blah. How dare you? Oh my god, it's the best thing ever. It's blah, blah, blah. And that was not fun. I had legit reasons. So it's it's fun when you actually all are like, yeah, this is good and fun, yay. And also that means that like if there's other things I can think of that you probably would like, it means you probably would like them, and that you have a lot of games waiting for you that you've not played yet, and that's very exciting, and I'm very jealous.
Yeah, that's one of the very cool things about NSO, and would honestly also be very cool if they just did like buy them a la carte and not have a subscription service.
Yeah. Let me buy Pokemon Yellow for the 100th time. Please.
Yeah. Just put like...
all of them.
I understand that they don't want to do it, because at least my theory is they don't want it competing with like the current Pokemon game. But like Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum are like really hard to find for like a reasonable price, especially Platinum. Just put it on NSO. Let people play it.
Yeah, I'd rather be able to buy it than not have access to it at all.
Yeah.
I hope at least they add more GameCube stuff, because I think we both want both Pokemon Coliseum games in there. Well, they are. Yep. They did show that they're adding the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It was in the marketing.
They showed both of them.
Oh yeah.
But we just don't have a release date for either of them yet.
I couldn't remember what else was in their marketing stuff. If Smash Bros gets added, because I've been watching Oni Plays play. They're obviously emulating it. Watching them play it, and I kind of forgot how. Out of any, I've probably put like 2,000 hours into my GameCube save file, like that I still have somewhere.
Damn.
And I'm like, I don't even think I'm that good at it. I just really like that one. It's just so good, and the charm in it, and GameCube era hits different. What can I say? Good times.
And as I said, I think 2 episodes ago when Seska and I were talking about Melee as well, not that Nintendo cares, but it would be a good boon to like the competitive community as well.
Right. That is a good point. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think if they were gonna be like a remaster, we have to pay for it or something. Bleh. But yeah.
And speaking of games that you can play competitively, I also played some of the Kirby Air Riders Global Test Ride.
Yeah, I'm excited because I couldn't because of birthday shenanigans, so I'm intrigued to see how you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
Yay.
The number one thing I really do have to get used to is I'm like, Mario Kart is basically the only racing game I've ever played. There are some exceptions, some of the more realistic ones. Like I've played a couple like Need for Speed games and stuff. But when it comes to the more cartoony like kart racers, Mario Kart is it.
Oh. Interesting.
I've never played like any of the Sonic ones. I didn't play Garfield Kart, which seems like one of the better decisions I've made with my life.
Yeah, I have for some reason. Did not recommend.
I also haven't played Garfield Kart 2, which came out this year for some reason. And I've also never really meaningfully played any F-Zero, you know.
Oh.
I suppose, okay, no, I tell a lie. I did play a lot of Lego Racers as a kid
Oh,
on
they were
N64.
good. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I'm mainly Mario Kart, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
And so, one of the things that they made clear in the directs, and sure enough was true in practice, is using like weapons and copy abilities against enemies, against other racers, doesn't slow them down. It just gives you a short little boost. And that is odd for someone who's basically only ever played Mario Kart and a bunch of Lego Racers. And in general, I feel like this game, because of that and also some other things, is just a lot more skill-based. Like, there's fewer opportunities to like really catch up if you're really far behind, but that also means that there's less like rubber banding BS from Mario Kart where you're like, I'm in first and then I get hit by a blue shell and then a red shell and then a lightning bolt and now I'm in eighth.
Yeah.
You know. And it's going to be interesting to see like if a community develops around this game, at least the racing part of it, because if anything's going to be the standout, I think it is going to be City Trial, which was also true for the original, as I understand it. And City Trial is a blast. I did 2 rounds of City Trial. Not to brag, but I beat my first one. I was first place. And then in my second one, I was 4th, but we don't need to talk about that too much.
It's a practice run. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it reminds me of similar Sakurai game, Kid Icarus Uprising, the multiplayer.
Oh.
Like, you're running around this, like, open area and you're collecting things. And Kid Icarus Uprising was more of, like a team deathmatch or, like, a capture the flag, like, more traditional, like, kind of games like that. Mm-hmm. And this is, you know, as we saw in the directs, you're driving around, you're collecting stat boosts, there's events that happen in the map, and you're interacting with your other racers to like steal their stat boosts and stuff. And then at the end, there's like a stadium, and you have an option of like 4 different choices, and the game will recommend like, hey, based on your cart and your character and your stat boost, you should probably pick one of these. But you can do other ones if you want to psych people out. And then you'll go into that and you'll do the final mini game, and based on that, you'll get a score.
Huh.
And that loop, because is like, that sounds like a lot, but you only spend 5 minutes in the actual city. And so it's easy to get like a lot of games in if you want to. And that 5-minute time limit is like, it's long enough that I think you get a good feel of what exactly is going on in your first couple games. Mm-hmm. But it's short enough that you're not like, ugh, this is still going. You know, because I've definitely played multiplayer games where it's just like, how... Like, at this point, I would rather just lose because that means it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Like, this is just going on way too long. And so, and I think 5 minutes is like a good middle ground for that. And if you want to take time exploring, there's also like a free exploration mode that they talked about in the direct. Mm-hmm. If you want to like really get a feel for the environment. But if you want to just get in and play, boom, you're right in the action.
That's cool.
I also got to try out a bunch of the machines. I played a couple of characters. My favorite was Knuckle Joe, personally. Like, Fighter is one of my favorite copy abilities in the Kirby games. And Knuckle Joe, like, automatically attacks other racers when they get close to him. And so that gives you an opportunity to, like, play a little more aggressively, play a little more risky, because your cart can get damaged. Mm. But as I said, attacking enemies gets you speed boosts.
Yeah.
And so it's a good way to, like, play aggressively and build up speed that way. I also really like the Vampire Star as a cart for similar reasons. We only got to try out 3 tracks. I forgot to write down the names. I'm sorry. But yeah, they were fun. I honestly like wish the actual races were a little longer, but the tracks are constructed in such a way that you don't need to like explore them as much as you would in like a Mario Kart game, for instance.
Okay.
Like there's a couple of like there's one track that has some like alternate paths, which was like the mountain one, I believe. But yeah, it's very fast, it's very frantic. It reminds me of how I imagine F-Zero is based on the 10 minutes of it I've played. But yeah, I had a great time. I have pre-ordered this game. It was not cheap,
Oh, how much
and
is
I'm gonna go pick it up on Thursday.
how much is it on your end?
I paid €74.99 for the physical
Whoa.
copy.
It's £56 here.
Damn. I mean, that's about the same, right? Like pounds are still like worth significantly more than the euro.
Are they? What is let me check. How much was that again you said?
$74.99.
So that would be £66, but it's 56. So it's like a £10 cheaper.
Gross.
Yeah. I don't know. There was also there's like a, it didn't allure me too much because it's Christmas present time, so my bank is not what it was. But the Nintendo UK has this like pre-order bonus, and it's like a reusable coffee cup with Kirby stuff on it, and I'm like, no, don't. I'm not going to let you like win over me.
Yeah.
Which is very cute.
I will say I am buying it from like my local game store. So like if I order it from Nintendo UK, it would probably be cheaper.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to support my local game store. You know?
No, that's good. We don't have any. So
Yeah.
which is kind of grim. So yeah, but no, that is good. That is good.
If you want to see more of it, we are also streaming it on Friday, November 21st at 10 a.m. GMT
Ooh,
at
exciting.
twitch.tv/GamePodular. It will be I guess not strictly my first time playing it because again, I did the test ride.
Yeah.
But I will be starting fresh. Like I'm going to pick it up on Thursday, but then I don't really have time to actually play it on Thursday. So Friday, it's like my first actual. You get to learn the game with me and Scott live.
Oh.
Tune in. Sorry for the shameless plug. But I am discovering that I am really enjoying streaming. And so I do enjoy talking about it. And Game Podular has given me a fun platform to do that and great people to interact with while I do it.
Oh.
So, yeah, this game looks dope. It's very different to other kart racers I've played, and that's something I'll have to get used to. But like a lot of Sakurai games, there's so much that you can like get into. Because there's I forget what it was called, but basically the single player that has like sort of the like branching paths aspect to it that you could like get super into. And City Trial, there's like so many different things that happen in City Trial that it's never going to be the same thing twice. And I'm super jazzed to play this game. I'm looking forward to picking it up on Thursday.
Oh, that's good.
But between now and the next episode, we are going to be playing other games, although I have given one away already, I suppose. Mine is going to be Kirby Air Riders, and I'm also still playing Pokemon Legends ZA. I hit 50 hours of playtime recently,
Oh
and
my.
I'm still got a lot of the game to go. To give you an impression of where I am, I'm at the second trio of Rogue Mega Evolutions, I think.
Oh, I'm not that far, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only like 30 hours in, if that, maybe.
It's most of what I've been playing in the last while.
Oh yeah, I have zero free time, which is really annoying because I have my back backlog is really bad right now, and it just got worse.
Yeah. And it will continue to get worse because Metroid Prime comes out next month.
Oh yes, December 4th. Yep. And yeah. So I tentatively would say that I'd also playing Pokemon Legends A, and I want to finish Super Mario Galaxy 2, but it's very unlike. I'm probably going to end up, if I have spare time, it's probably going to be on like Marvel Rivals and Fortnite because it's a lot easier to like dive into a online thing for a little bit than it is to, you know what I mean? Single player stuff, I like to like spend, have the time to get suckered in, and I don't have free time until like mid-December, end of December. Could be January, yeah. So it's very depressing. But I'm going to try. I also made the mistake of saying to my partner, yeah, of course you can play Legends A now. And so I don't have access to the Switch 2 right now. In fact, he's playing it in the living room right now. And so who knows when I'll see it again. I did get... well, I've got Sonic Cross Worlds coming in the post, so, could be playing that. I also got... that indie game by Sweet Carol, is that was called? The one that's kind of like a horror thing. It looks like a Disney like game. It looks like a Disney animation, but it's not. It's like a spooky.
I'm drawing a blank on what the exact name is, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
You might be right, honestly.
Yeah, by Sweet Carol. I got the physical version for my birthday.
Nice.
And I like scary games and I like Disney animations, so I'm very excited. So I might be playing that. But like with me, if I say I'm playing something, it doesn't mean I'm probably going to talk about it because I never finish anything. But here's hoping. maybe things will turn around. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of End Focus. Of course, stick around for all the info on our social medias and stuff. I do want to briefly mention, I think I mentioned this on Patreon as well, that like, as you may have noticed, November and December are very busy months for basically everybody. And so recording schedule is going to be a little tricky. There was already a longer gap between this episode and the last episode than usual, and that's basically why. So we'll keep you up to date on the Blue Sky and on the Discord as well on like how the recording schedule is going to be, because it's going to be interesting finding time. Like, I don't know, like even November, like I have just so many like birthdays in November. It's like April and November in my family.
Oh.
And then December, like between like Sinterklaas and Christmas and other stuff. It's just New Year's. It's just going to be like very difficult. So keep an eye. We'll try our best to keep everybody updated. But it's going to be a little bit of a lighter load until like January, basically.
Yar.
But we will do our best to like still get as many as we can. Just there will be less than maybe you're used to. But look forward to the next episode regardless.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when that's coming out. And until then, maybe see you on Friday on Twitch. And if not, we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Hilke here, and I am a very sleepy man. I'm good. How are you? I just wanted to say thank you for listening to this episode of End Focus. If you had a good time with it, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. Also, please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. Word of mouth really helps too. You can also listen and subscribe on Spotify, other podcast services, and YouTube. And if you are listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check us out on our sister show Game Podular Unfocused. Follow us on Blue Sky and at GamePodular.com for updates, news, and other content. Links to all of our socials, including the Discord, the Mastodon, the Blue Sky, you can find those at our link tree. If you'd like to support our shows, you can buy us a coffee or become a Game Podular patron on the Patreon. The details for both are on our website and also at the beginning of this episode, I suppose. Thank you very much. This episode was edited by me. That's Hilke. That's me. That's my name. And if you want to, you can follow me at Gear12Turbo at Kind.social on Mastodon or at Gear12Turbo.BlueSky.social on Blue Sky. I was joined today by Rosalie, who you can find at LittleRecordGirl.BlueSky.social on Blue Sky. I'm going to go lie down now. Have a good one.